November 10th, 2018. There have been some other major arrests this week. An arrest in Peru. Police chief among those arrested and 13 others over what has been described as a baby trafficking ring. Looking at this article, and I also want to do a possible tie-in. Over the summer, there was another fairly major bust, one in Colombia, with over 250 underage girls that had been rescued, and possible tie-in with an Israeli kingpin, they had said. It's also previous tie-in between Peru and some Israeli banks. We'll look at that more, but what they're saying of this arrest from this week, they're now saying that police in Peru say they have busted a suspected baby trafficking ring. Among the 14 arrested in early morning raids is the former head of Peru's national police force, General Raul Becerra. He has not yet commented. Police suspect his partner, they're saying, of being the ringleader of the gang, which convinced poor women to hand over their babies and then sold them. A 5-month-old baby was rescued as part of the raids, officials have said. Police said that there were 500 officers that took part in these simultaneous raids on 18 properties in the industrial city starting around 3 a.m. local time Tuesday. One of the properties searched was that of the ex-police chief, whom police suspect of being a key accomplice in the criminal scheme allegedly led by his 32-year-old partner, Cynthia Tello. Becerra is 61 years old. He led Peru's national police force from 2010 until his retirement in 2011. Neighbors also say that his partner, who's allegedly running this, the ringleader of this trafficking ring, they say that she ran local beauty contests and organized public events. Investigators say that the gang looked for poor pregnant women who were considering having abortions because they felt that they could not afford to bring up a child. The gang then allegedly offered the women enough money to convince them to carry to term and would then sell their babies at a huge profit. Investigators allege that the babies were sold for 4,000 Peruvian sols. That's about 1,187 US dollars. Police are still investigating, they say, whether the children were sold to foreign couples looking to adopt or to organ trafficking gangs. Another possibility. They say also among those arrested are a gynecologist and pediatrician. So they are among the 13 others arrested, besides the ex-police chief, and 3 women who allegedly fished for pregnant women by pretending to offer illegal abortions. They make the connection, again, saying that the partner ran local beauty contests. And this was one of the other things that this recent bust in Colombia, I talked about this in another video this summer, over 250 girls were branded with tattoos by their owners. They said this woman was arrested at the time, and she had apparently lured these girls with promises of modeling jobs as well. So I guess interesting that she also ran these beauty contests, this bust in Peru, similar to what they were promised, these victims, and then they were forced into this trafficking ring. They also said that several unnamed Israelis were believed to be among the network's ringleaders. That was in the Colombia bust over the summer. They said unnamed in the original article. A few days later, they followed up saying that they were looking for this Israeli kingpin. And obviously a lot of trafficking and smuggling between the Colombian border and the border of Peru as well. And there are also direct connections that could be considered suspicious between Peru and Israel. In Colombia, the one trafficking gang, it looks like, ties back to this Israeli crime organization. There have been other cases in Colombia as well, but in Peru there was a pretty major case. One among the major cases were the Peruvian president. This was several years ago, but the Peruvian president, former president, had been suspected of depositing millions in Israeli banks. So, former president of Peru at one time was directly involved in this money laundering scandal, which they also said tied in with trafficking as well. They said the FBI, while investigating it, believed that these illicit funds came from, they said, drug trafficking, protection racketeering, and arms dealing at the time. So suspicious connection there. That was several years back, but we know, again, just giving some more context of the history of potential involvement. Now, they're not saying whether this ties in with any other broader international trafficking ring in these arrests from this week, but we know that those groups are active in the area at the very least. So let me know what you do think. I'll follow up with any other major details. Leave a comment. Thank you.